we're not entirely sure that the southwestern part of Pike County won't be included in a tornado warning coming up. They're watching that storm. The National Weather Service in Little Rock, in our viewing area, has not said that there will be a tornado warning with that, but we're watching it, they're watching it, and we need to keep folks safe tonight as these storms roll on through the state. Again, I don't think it's going to last forever tonight. I really think by 10 o'clock or so we're going to be completely out of a threat, but this is what we're looking at right now. And for more on this storm, meteorologist Zach Holder looking at this storm coming out of Scott County and moving into Yell County.
Yeah, and also looking back down to those southwest storms. These have been tornado warned for a long time, but unless some damage reports just haven't filtered in, it's been over 100 miles, almost 130 miles without any damage reports despite all those tornado warnings. So just need to watch that, but it doesn't have a history of reporting damage. There has been a little bit of hail at times, but the main threat continues to be that cell up to the north where the rotation is there, but if you put it in motion, you'll start to see it looked a little bit better at times. It was kind of spinning, but I think that's really died down now as it's headed towards Gravelly in the county line. Here's Arkansas 228 that dips down to the south and back west towards Parks, but overall, definitely still some breezy, gusty winds up to 50, 60 miles per hour, but hopefully this is gusting out. And again, I don't think the tornado threat's super high. I think we'll get some instances like this where there's some rotation. I would bet that those southern storms down in southwest Arkansas that will start to move closer to the Highway 82 corridor into southern Arkansas, those would probably be the ones with the best chance of brief tornadoes because they really didn't see much rain earlier. Everybody else saw a round of showers and thunderstorms that took a lot out of the atmosphere. If there's any tornado threat where it's probably a little bit higher, it is probably down to the south where you can still see some of that rotation, but even that rotation hopefully will just start to fall apart. It doesn't look too healthy either. Here's kind of the setup for the rest of the night. We had that break. That break's over. We have storms flaring up anywhere from now east of Little Rock. Those have developed over the past hour or so, and these will probably be the strongest line of storms. I think one or two of these could keep their severe characteristics, but hopefully they just kind of run into a cooled atmosphere, cooled setting as we go over the next few hours. The best chance, I think, for maybe a little bit more severe weather would be these southwestern ones down closer into southern Arkansas. Not necessarily tornado warnings, but hail and straight line winds. The severe storm to the north, probably just a hail threat with some wind mixed in as well. But just can't rule out more brief tornado warnings like this one. Let's check in with the National Weather Service to see if they've noticed that Little Rock one looking a little bit weaker. They said they didn't expect this to become a super strong tornado, but it does indeed look like threatening enough to warrant a warning there. And that's what they're designed to do. They're to warn you that we do have the chance of something spinning up. Asked the National Weather Service in Shreveport about any damage reports. They said they are starting to get some reports of damage back in the McCurtain County area. No reports yet from Arkansas. So there was a little bit of damage from that long track tornado warned storm. Doesn't necessarily mean it's had a tornado the entire time, but this little cluster down here, there's a little bit of damage reports coming in from far southeastern Arkansas. Nothing so far in Arkansas itself. That would be next up for Nevada County, and then through some of our southern counties that we cover as well, if it holds together. And that's kind of the big thing. We'll see how long these tornado warnings can hold together. Right now, this one back near Gravelly heading into Yell County continues to show signs of some strong winds, but yeah, that rotation's even splitting. That's more of a downburst signature where you have winds going this way, and then you also have the other winds going this way. Earlier, they were kind of dancing around each other, but now I'd say that's just more of a downburst, almost a summertime thunderstorm threat of wind gusts up to around 60 miles an hour.
National Weather Service, Zach, it concurs with you, but they said we're going to hold on to it for a few more scans. But as soon as that rotation started to tighten, it just broadened out, as you were alluding to, and so they don't want to just issue it and then take it away and then have to issue something maybe again, but they have seen that weakening is really there. So as it moves into Yell County, be aware, folks, but I don't see any great amount of rotation with that storm, but there's going to be plenty of wind for you folks that live in the western part of Yell County. So we're watching all of these storms, and if this one begins to tighten back up in the next, and it could, it's not, there hasn't been a lot of rain over there. The atmosphere is still relatively unstable. Well, we'll go back on with that. But for now, until the tornado warning is over, anywhere in our viewing area, we're going to stay with those storms. Again, we apologize profusely for having to break in to programming, especially the Wheel of Fortune. So many fans out there, and we will not stay on a second longer than we have to. In southwest Arkansas, though, we're going to look at these storms as well. And there's wind. There may be some rotation that's trying to form. It just doesn't look very promising to me. The storm prediction, or the National Weather Service in Shreveport has issued these, but the National Weather Service in Little Rock, responsible for Pike County, has not issued a tornado warning for those storms. The atmosphere may be a little more conducive down there, but one of the things that I've noticed, and I think this is working in our favor, just go with me here a little bit, and I'll show you. Look at all the rain that is just a solid area of rain over into Clark County and a lot of Pike County. That cools the atmosphere. Now, there up to the bottom part of these storms, up to the south part of these storms, there is warm, humid air that has not been rain cooled. But a lot of this area, including all the way up to Hot Springs, has been rain cooled. And where there is rain and where these showers are breaking out, and they're breaking out in a lot of the state, it does lessen your severe weather chance. Look at all the rain out just to the north of Little Rock. Rained, even a couple of thunderstorms.
It's loud in Little Rock right now, but I don't see any kind of severe threat. It's just downpours and lightning.
Yeah. Really, none of these look terrible except for perhaps that wind threat. And we've extended this one out from the north of Russellville over to Clinton, a severe thunderstorm warning. It's probably the right thing to do, because there could be some wind with these.
That wind's really picked up in the last few scans. They're right along Highway 7. That's going to be some really strong winds.
Let's go and say, oh, wow. Yeah,
you'll probably
really
get some trees down.
I'm going to show you this, but yeah.
That's getting closer to probably 70 miles an hour rather than what we've seen so far with some gusts up around 60.
Yeah, that's really bad wind. So I'm going to let's just say and I don't want you to talk about it there, but right along the Highway 7 corridor over to 27, that's where you got to get in, pretend this is a tornado warning, I would say.
Yeah, that's going to knock some trees down anywhere along Highway 7, Highway 27. This is just going to continue to barrel eastward towards the north of Hector. And really, that just appeared over the past couple minutes, past few scans. So, yeah, not a tornado warning, but equally as dangerous, as that's going to knock down some trees as that passes between Highway 7 and Highway 27, which is an area of Arkansas that has a lot of trees. So watch out for that if you're in that severe thunderstorm warning. Let me see if the National Weather Service, does it still say 60, or did they bump it up to 70? It still says 60, but I would think winds may be stronger than that, especially up on elevation. Some of the top of these hills, probably going to get some of the top wind gusts out of this as it passes through. So that would be into the Clinton area, Choctaw area, Damascus area, probably within the next 30 minutes, even though it's not a tornado warning. And speaking of our tornado warning, still looks pretty disorganized, with winds still kind of going in opposite directions. Still windy, but you still see that the winds are dying down. Probably going to try to build back some more straight line winds, but the tornado threat right now is probably at 0. We just need to watch it, make sure it stays at 0 over the next few minutes. But right now, I imagine they're probably going to consider, there it goes, canceling it. Before I could even say canceling that warning, it does look like they have canceled that warning to the south. Let's check in on these storms in southwest Arkansas, just so we're not throwing it back in. And it looks like it's still shy of Nevada County. So, Barry, unless you got something else, I think we can go back to the Wheel of Fortune for the last few minutes.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, if you're in the northern part of Pope County, you need to be very aware of this storm that's moving on through. It is severe thunderstorm warned. If there's any rotation with that, we get a tornado warning. But in the northern part of Pope County and over into western Van Buren County, be very aware these storms will cause some damage. We're going to head back for the last few minutes of Wheel of Fortune. If there are any tornado warnings in